Our case this week takes place in Florida. So on October 4th, 2008, in Boynton Beach, Florida, 38-year-old Michael Dippolito decided to look for an escort for the night while his wife was out of town. 35 minutes after calling a service that night, 26-year-old Dalia Muhammad came a-knocking on married Michael's front door. Only 2 weeks after that first service, Michael Dippolito filed for divorce from his wife after 7 years of marriage and immediately proposed to Dalia with a $20,000 engagement ring.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So Dalia obviously said yes, and the two got married 4 months later on February 2nd, 2009. Dalia and Michael, as the new Dippolito couple, were overly affectionate and did not have a problem with PDA or public display of affection. On March 12th, 2010, a month into their new marriage, Michael Dippolito's probation officer comes over unannounced for the first time ever. Michael had actually served 7 months in prison back in 2001 for a fraud operation and was given 28 years probation. The probation officer and 2 detectives confronted Michael with the news that they had received multiple anonymous calls about Michael selling drugs from his home. They searched the home and found nothing. The next weekend, Dalia and Michael went to a nice resort in Palm Beach for the weekend, and towards the end of the trip, Michael and Dalia woke up to police searching Michael's car in the parking lot, claiming they had received another anonymous call that he was dealing drugs out of his car. 2 weeks later, Michael and Dalia finished their dinner at a fancy restaurant when they exit the restaurant and find police searching Michael's car in the parking lot again.
Okay, I think I might know where this is going.
But this time, police discover an actual baggie of cocaine in the vehicle, and Michael pleaded with them, please, I'm being set up. This has happened 3 times. Like, it's not me. I don't know where that cocaine came from. They were like, we believe you. We do think someone's trying to set you up. It was the summer of 2009 when Dalia and Michael woke up together for a typical day. Around 5:40 a.m., Dalia headed to the gym, and Michael got ready to walk the dogs. It was roughly an hour later when Dalia received an unexpected call at the gym from a sergeant with the Boynton Police Department asking her to return home immediately. Dalia rushed home and was astonished to see crime scene tape, news crews, and police surrounding her home. They had responded to a call of shots fired at her home earlier that morning, and her husband, Michael Dippolito, was dead. Police bring Dalia to the station and try to console her as she's freaking out. Police tell Dalia that Michael had been shot twice and it looked like he had answered the door and then was attacked. But the shocking twist comes when the police officer brings a man who is cuffed into the interrogation room with Dalia. And he asks her if she recognizes him, and she's like, no. And he says, well, this is the man we caught leaving your home after responding to the 911 calls. The next man they bring in to confront Dalia will turn this case on its head. In walks Michael Dippolito himself, alive and well.
I thought he was dead.
The detectives tell Dalia to quit the act. They know that Dalia had hired a hitman to kill her husband that morning, and fortunately for Michael, the hitman she hired was an undercover cop. Back when Michael was being set up for dealing drugs, he had actually confronted Dalia the 3rd time because no one else knew they were going to dinner that night. Police later said that part of the reason they let him go that night was because they had a feeling that Dalia actually had something to do with it. And that same day that she told Michael she was pregnant, she texted her ex-boyfriend saying that she wanted to hook up with him and she missed him. She asked him to pose as a lawyer and tell him that in order for him to get off probation, he would need to move his house solely into his wife's name. Dalia then contacted another ex-lover and asked him to hire a hitman to kill her current husband. This new ex-lover said neither no or yes, but instead drove to the local police after meeting with Dalia and told them Dalia's intentions.
Whoa.
Hey, my ex-girlfriend just reached out to me and she asked me to hire a hitman. Police decide that they would plant a camera in his car and have him meet back up with her and say yes. Dalia gave him a picture of Michael, a picture of their house, and a $3,000 down payment all on camera in his car. I will now play some audio from the undercover camera that was hidden in the back seat of the car.
Hey. We're staying in Paris. All right, yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it and when exactly it's going to be done. No, for real, because the thing is, after I talked to you today, this phone, garbage. Okay. You won't be able to get a hold of it. I just want to make sure that, dude, is he your husband or something? Boyfriend?
I'd rather be as less, whatever with you.
Dalia is very unwilling to really say any words that equal complete condemnation. They decide together that the plan would be that she would go to the gym early in the morning while Michael normally takes the dog for a walk. And then when Michael would come back to the house, the supposed hitman would strike while she's at the gym. So the morning of, Dalia showed up to the gym at 5:40 a.m. And meanwhile, police showed up at Michael and Dalia's home and said, "Hi, Michael, we're the police and your wife is trying to kill you right now." So they take Michael to the station. Roughly 1 hour later, police would call Dalia home from the gym and inform her of her husband's murder. The news crews that were surrounding the house were actually there to document everything for police. So they were actually recording, and it's brutal to watch. So we're going to play you some audio, and if you're on YouTube, you can watch the video.
Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, he's been killed. Listen, right now we need to get you to the station. We need to get you to our police station. He's been killed, ma'am. I'm sorry. Listen, we need you to calm down. I'm going to need you to go with these detectives.
So after bringing her into the station, they continued to stay in character. And then obviously, like, you know, they break the news to her that it was all recorded and she's going to jail. They have everything she ever said about this. And she claims over and over, "I didn't do anything. No, Dalia, like we have the footage. Here's the footage. I didn't do that."
She's in shock.
The detective tells her, "Well, your husband is actually alive and we will play the audio for you," as he confronts her, as he walks into the room and says, "Hi, I'm alive. Why'd you try to kill me?"
Oh my God! Mike, come here! Come here, please! Come here! Come here!
Can't fix it.
Why not? I didn't do anything
I
to
heard
you!
you.
Come here!
So detectives feel like this case is open and shut. Despite the effort and the evidence, Dalia will not confess and still denies everything. So she was taken to jail and given a phone call. She calls Michael. So basically in the call, she's like, "Hey, Michael, I need you to hire a lawyer for me." And he's like, "I know that you just tried to kill me." And she's completely talking in circles. And she even gets mad at him like, "Well, you don't even love me because you're not trying to help me get a lawyer." Dalia would spend 20 months in jail before going to trial in April of 2011 because she's pleading not guilty. At trial, Dalia would claim that the whole thing was a hoax. So after 3 hours of deliberation, the jury came back on May 13th with a guilty verdict.
Okay. Somehow she was going to be found not guilty and I was going to freak
No, because
out.
no jury is going to watch that undercover
Yeah.
footage and then believe her. Like they had so much evidence.
Yeah.
During his victim impact statement, Michael Dippolito says that he was a good husband. He says he hasn't purposely gained any attention from this. Judge says to Dalia, so keep in mind, Dalia's sitting there through all of this and they're ripping into her, which they should be. And the judge says to Dalia that her moral compass is skewed. She spent months trying to get rid of her husband. And he's like, that's a long time to try to hurt someone and you haven't shown an ounce of remorse.
Yeah.
Not even a month later, the sentence was thrown out on a technicality. And somehow, Dalia was able to remain on house arrest instead of in jail for 6 years while waiting for her next trial. Her second trial started. She basically claimed the same thing. So in June of 2017, Dalia Dippolito was found guilty once again. And on July 21st, 2017, she was sentenced to 16 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
So 16 years. Okay.
So my biggest question once I researched this case, did Michael get his house back?
Well, I just think it's so awkward that she went to the house and she's the only one that thought that he was actually dead and was like probably acting and crying.
Oh, yeah.
That's so
She
awkward.
threw herself on the police
Oh
officer.
my gosh.
Biggest part of this case is just the undercover work in all of the video footage that they have. And she did multiple interviews claiming to be the victim.